Well, if you've watched my channel at all, you know that I love ethnographic art and masks, especially, that kind of thing. So, should be no surprise that I found this fascinating. All of the puppets that we're going to see here are part of traditional Indonesian puppet theater. Indonesia is actually the fourth most populous country in the world, and its main island, Java, where this kind of theater thrives, is the most populous island in the world. So, on to the art form itself. This was originally actually a form of shadow theater, which I think is really cool too, and then it evolved to the kind of two-dimensional puppets you see here, and then eventually to three-dimensional. So you can see how amazing the artwork is on these. They're really, really striking just in and of themselves. You can see the articulation there, right? So you'd have different rods connected to different parts of the body to make them move, so it wasn't just like a simple puppet. It gives that kind of freaky motion that I think is really, really cool. And look at those faces. In 2003, UNESCO declared this form of art one of the masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage, or heritages, maybe, of humanity. Anyway, this has been around since roughly 800 AD. This is, of course, a form of vulgar entertainment, and I, of course, mean that in the academic sense. So this was, popular entertainment in the street, but also had mythological tie-ins, religious, that kind of thing. That kind of traditional, culturally important, popular entertainment has always interested me as well, just from around the world. Not that I'm an expert, because I'm definitely not. So, like the Chinese opera and just many other examples you can think of, this would play well-known stories, and they could be romances, satires, make the people laugh, religious tales. Often you're celebrating the life of a hero, right? And speaking of China, there's debate about whether this is an indigenous art form or it was inspired by China or India. And there are proponents of, all three of those theories, indigenous China, India, and I don't think it particularly matters. What matters more is what it became, and it's definitely a unique thing in and of itself now. Music was also an important part of the performances, as you could probably guess, but just to be certain, and I found it really interesting to read that even to this day, supposedly in some regions, the artifacts, the objects used in these performances, including even the musical instruments, are believed to be inhabited, or at least temporarily inhabited, by spirits. Ancestral spirits, I should clarify. Now, look at that. Just how amazing is that? And if you've seen some of my other videos on like Mexican indigenous art, that kind of thing, then you could definitely imagine why I was fascinated by this. I could just stare at that for quite a while. You might have noticed I haven't said the name of the form yet, because I'm going to mispronounce it badly, but I'll go ahead, Wayang, something like that. And it's absolutely fascinating. I'll put some links to some performances, that kind of thing, in the video description. Thanks.